Vice-Chancellor, Professors, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and privilege to be here for this event. I was due to be coming to Bristol yesterday, and then we discovered this was happening today, and so I switched my visit because I wanted to be part of this event, because I think this is a very important, special occasion. And it's something which we should be proclaiming far and wide. It's something which we should be heard well beyond the shores of this island, because this is an initiative, I think, of truly international significance. If you go back just 5 years, nuclear was not on the agenda in the United Kingdom at all. It was assumed that we would have a non-nuclear future. In the course of that time, since the 2007 White Paper, and John Hutton, when he was Secretary of State of Defence, of Energy, that he has transformed that picture. And I think Britain is now one of the most exciting nations in the world for nuclear new build. And the opportunities which are here are truly extraordinary. And we all know that many of the companies which are looking to invest in that future are international companies. And what is so important about today is it brings together two of our most important global institutions with the expertise which they have got to show how the skills which that nuclear programme is going to need can be met from our own universities here in the United Kingdom. And I think that also means that we're going to be developing skills here which can be taken far afield as well. When we have countries like China, like India, like the United Arab Emirates and others which are all looking at a new nuclear programme, then actually the skills base from trusted institutions such as Bristol and Oxford and other universities in this country, that they are a key component in giving them confidence in those nuclear programmes. Of course, we didn't stop being a nuclear nation. Our last nuclear plant to be built was opened in 1995. It was commissioned 25 years ago. So it's been a long time since we've been in the game of building nuclear plants. But through that time, we have been some of the world leaders in the decommissioning of old nuclear plants. We've been world leaders in developing programs for managing the radioactive waste. We're still key nuclear players in other parts of the technology. The work which goes on elsewhere in Oxford and elsewhere that is groundbreaking of its own type. And so that we haven't stopped being that, but in terms of the public perception, then we're getting back into that game. And my ambition is that in a new regime of nuclear power plants being constructed, without subsidy, without compromising on safety, then Britain should become a serious nuclear player once again. But that's going to require tremendous investment in the skills which we need. We're seeing that becoming a reality. EDF have just recently transported is the right word, their planning application for the nuclear plant which they want to build at Hinkley. 80,000 pages long. So for those of you who think that nuclear is just about engineering, actually the regulatory aspects, the planning aspects, the financing, the insurance, all of those are part of the work which I think this new initiative can help to take forward. But they've submitted that recently, and that really does begin to show that here in this part of the country, that nuclear renaissance is being led. There are other plants, other areas where we expect to see that follow, but the real leadership, so many of the real opportunities are going to be here in the southwest and going up into Oxfordshire. And I want to ensure that as young graduates from these universities, which are in a great position to take advantage of those opportunities, and that some of those will be British, some of them will be international. But this will be an international opportunity and a beacon of good practice so that able students from around the world will come to study in these universities and that they know that they can actually optimise their skills and make a real difference. These are going to be highly skilled jobs. There can be no compromising on those skill sets. Some of that will be at an apprentice level, some of it will be inevitably at a university level. And a lot of work is already going on the apprentice side of things. The work at Bridgewater College, which EDF has been taken forward. The work of the National Skills Academy for Nuclear, working with Cogent to ensure that we have young people coming through with the skill set to be working in this industry. That's all part of it. But so much of the leadership is going to come through in the university sector as well. And we should understand, too, the magnitude of this opportunity. Every new nuclear plant is 5,000 jobs to build. It's 1,000 jobs to keep it operational. 200 of those jobs are going to be involved in fuel processing, waste and research and development. And so that there's a wide range of skills which are going to be necessary. They'll need to be mobile because this is going to happen in different parts of the country and indeed different parts of the world. But we cannot take forward this programme without the investment in that skills happening. So I think the initiative which we're seeing today is groundbreaking. It's of truly international importance. That we have here two of our leading universities with proven and established credentials in these areas already, and now saying that actually by working together, the sum of the parts will be greater than they could actually be just by working independently. Very important because we've got the contribution which they can make in the United Kingdom, where they fit into this, and knowing that this work is going to be going on is going to be critical for them as well. But it's not just about universities. The other thing which I think makes this centre so important is its engagement with business and with other establishments. That this is going to be very practically based. It's going to be helping industry to identify where the future challenges are coming from and develop those solutions. And that is what British universities do best. They have an international reputation for that work. And this is not, therefore, asking them to do something which they couldn't necessarily aspire to. This is saying, this is what you've always done so well, and this is taking it through to a different dimension. So the cooperation with Rolls-Royce, with EDF, with AWE and others, that is all part of, I think, the... And it's quite right, too, that government... But government is not leading it. Because we set the parameters for energy policy, and it's up to industry to decide how best to meet that. So it's industry who will take forward the investment programmes. It will be independent finance. We need to work with you as universities and others in that sector to ensure that there is a full understanding at a time when they're going to be required. So I want to be, but never detracting from your leadership. We need more strategic leadership. This is a time of immense change and immense challenge to us in the energy sector, in the United Kingdom and internationally. But to me, it's being led from the grassroots. The reason why, talking to your professors earlier this has happened, was because that they were increasingly aware of the number of students who wanted to be doing courses in the sector. That many of the young people coming to universities like this believe that this is an extremely important and promising area to work, which will offer well-paid, long-term careers. And this is therefore the best type of relationship. You've got students who are keen to do it, you've got universities which can provide the leadership, you've got industry which is keen to partner in that process as well. And I think that this is a wonderfully symbolic moment, not just in the great histories of these universities, but more importantly in the nuclear renaissance here. The words which I used at the beginning I think are truly important. That this is not just something which we're playing. We want Britain to be a serious nuclear nation once again. The opportunities which that brings to so many young people, so many businesses, so many people who can be part of that process in every different form of it, is going to be transformative. Energy should not just be seen as something which is there to heat up the homes and businesses and to light them. It's a growth sector in its own right, and none is more exciting, more vibrant, more possible today than nuclear. At a year when we've seen extraordinary challenges, to see the leadership coming through here today, post-Fukushima, and all of those issues, and saying we must do things in a way which is safe, in a way which is structured and skills-based, is going to be very significant and important indeed. So I was so pleased to have a chance to be here today to support you in this initiative.